I really mean it this time. Oh, are we here? Here we are. We're live.
We're back.
It always surprises, always catches me off guard. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Christian. Welcome to Thursday, everybody. Here we are at What's for Dinner. Yeah, and we've been talking about all things GLP-1. And Rachel, I was commenting earlier how it seems like every day or every other day, there's a new article in the Wall Street Journal. That's the paper I'm getting right now that has to do with GLP-1s. Mm-hmm. So it's been very interesting. There was an article about how for women who are getting married and they're going to these designer dress shops, how they have to sign an agreement that that this is their weight for the dress that they bought, so that they can't. Yeah,
that's fascinating, right? Because fill in the gaps of what happens. They buy a dress, they take a GLP-1, a month later they're and then now.
Yeah. So they're having to sign on the dotted line that this is my weight and that I tried the dress on and I'm good with that. So isn't that interesting? Yeah. There was another article about the change in the food industry and how GLP-1s are affecting the food industry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's also affecting the bariatric surgery space, less people are choosing bariatric surgery. So very interesting. So one day it'll be a personal one, and another one it'll have a business, money, financial aspect of it. It's all very interesting.
Yeah. It's a hot topic. It's not going anywhere. And there's just more and more access to information around the medication, the societal pressures, how it's changing culture, how it's changing industry, economics. Mm-hmm. It's not isolated. This is what I think is so fascinating about this medication, right, or these groups of medications, is it's not just like something it's not like just a blood pressure medication where it's kind of just like in the medical world and it kind of sits there. This is like touching, it seems like every element of our culture, every element of life, of lifestyle.
Right. Yeah. I think, didn't we read, what is it now? 1 in 10 Americans are taking a GLP-1.
I don't know the statistics, but
maybe you could plug that in real quick, Christian. Can you figure that out?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, look that up. But it is a significant number of people in America who are taking a GLP-1. So this is it's important to talk about and learn and and eyes wide open, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what we're doing here with the podcast, right? We're wanting to, we've been doing this series on GLP-1s and GLP-1s done right. Talking more about what your prescription doesn't come with, So for people getting a GLP-1 from their provider or from a compounded pharmacy online, what's not shared or what information doesn't automatically come with that. And we're trying to, pull back the curtains a little bit and discuss this really important topic and help educate our listeners. And then also, kind of, offer the solutions and the support that we offer at Oregon Weight and Wellness, letting them, invite them into, maybe I would like a team of providers helping me transition both from the prehabbing stage before I take a GLP-1 all the way through my weight loss journey. And then on the other side through maintenance and sustainability. Mm-hmm. It's a long journey, and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do at Oregon Weight and Wellness. And it's really about improving overall health, right?
Yeah.
Because we really want to take the focus off the number on the scale. We had a patient today. I'm going to give another shout out to Christian.
I like shout outs.
Yeah. It was so beautiful because, this person was feeling a little defeated because the number on the scale didn't move. And we had a really good conversation about that and the different voices that, were so critical and maybe inviting that voice to talk a little bit more and just afraid of failure again because of the, the history that the person up and down in weight and dieting how different this is right now, and the journey, and then Christian was just so beautiful because he had the person repeat that. I think I'm gonna say it right. Well,
I'll
maybe
correct
you
you
could.
if you're wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you say it. You say it. You tell us what you told her to say.
The phrase that we had her say was, "My weight does not equal my health."
Yeah. My weight does not equal my health. And then the other part of that was what?
And then the other part was, so that was the not bad thought, the incorrect or the incomplete thought. And we want to replace that with a new thought, which is, my weight is part of my health.
Yeah.
Right.
My
weight is a small part of my health. And which is why, and that really, those two simple phrases are so important, because people intuitively understand this, but it just, with all the media that we're fed and the industries and what we're told about obesity, is it is your weight. It's everything about your health, excuse me. But that's why some patients, they start losing weight and then they kind of maintain their weight, and despite doing all the right things. And it's because their body they're getting healthy. And sometimes the body, to get healthy, it doesn't lose weight. It needs to clean up this gunk over here. It needs to fix something over here. And then once it gets all of those other things cleaned up and we're a little bit healthier, then the weight starts to drop. So getting healthy does not mean I will always be losing weight. You will lose weight as you get healthy over the long run, but there's a lot of other stuff that go into being healthy.
Right.
And just FYI, the numbers on GLP-1, about more than 1 in 8 Americans, so about 12%, have either used or are currently using it. A GLP-1, and it is estimated that roughly 6% of Americans are currently using a GLP-1.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big number.
It's a really big number. Yeah. Thanks for looking that up. And what a great, I love the way you described, Christian. We talk a lot about that in coaching, because patients do come with those plateaus and those times when they feel stuck, and maybe their first month or a couple months on this journey, they've lost some good weight and they're feeling momentum, and then all of a sudden their bodies they just hit the brakes, right? The weight loss hits the brakes. The health, and that's what we call the scale victories, and there are the non-scale victories. And people come in looking for just scale victories. That's what they think they're looking for. Really what they're looking for is what comes along with the health journey, is the non-scale victories.
Right.
Feeling better, more energy, sleeping better, my clothes are fitting looser, I have a little bit more energy, less brain fog. And that's that cleaning up system. Sometimes the body says, hold on, I can't drop any weight right now. I got to go do some stuff. I'll be back. And it like goes off into the background, right? And it's like beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. And it's doing all this stuff. and the scale's like, murr. And the person's like, no, right? I mean, that's right? Like that. I feel like that was just a cartoon way of beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. It's like who's the guy in the Emerald City? He's behind the curtain.
Yes. Oz, the great Oz.
The great Oz. And it's frustrating because the client is doing everything right. They've changed their sleep patterns. They're working on healthy nutrition. They're choosing the healthy choices. They're doing that walk in the morning or after work, or they're focusing on relationships. They're eating from a state of calm and rest rather than panic and chaos. All these changes, they're working. We know what's going on in the background, but the scale sometimes stay steady for a little while. And it's such a helpful reminder for all of us that, okay, yeah, my body is working, it is functioning, and it is healing. But it doesn't correlate identically.
Right. Weight doesn't do this. Right.
Right.
It's not a linear deal. It's this kind of a deal. So that is just such an important point to make. I was thinking that, we want to, as the coach and the physician, we're interested in so much more than weight, right? We are interested in a person's overall health. I mean, we want their blood pressure controlled. We want blood sugar controlled. We want energy improved. We want them to sleep well, so there are just so many other ways that we can measure success, and we can't put all our eggs in that scale basket. Yeah. So it's so important. And it's just so important, there's so many things are going on in the body, so yes, there's the outside, and then there's the organs. Yeah. And then there's in the organs, the cells, and then there's in the cells, the organelles, and all of those things are getting healthier. So if we could kind of have this microscope, or it's beyond a microscope, to really look and see what's going on inside, we would see a lot of good stuff, of good stuff. Yeah.
And so many different parts working.
So many
Go ahead,
different
Christian.
parts.
I was going to say, using AI here, we're so technological here. I was interested because we were talking about this, I love the non-scale victories and the scale victories, right? So I plugged into AI and I asked AI, I said, let's see, let me just read what I said. I said, hey, if you had to estimate what % of being healthy is losing weight or achieving a healthy BMI, we know that there's so many other aspects of being healthy: mental health, physical health, sleeping well, eating well, etc. And so I asked that to the AI, and so it analyzed all of the literature we have, and it estimated that only if you combined all that, it says a reasonable estimate is that achieving a healthy weight accounts for roughly 20 to 30% of overall health. So if that being said, then we need to help people realize that if you are gonna get healthy, that behind the scenes there, if you lose, let's say you lose some weight, and that's about 20 to 30% of getting healthy, then there is 4 to 5 times more many things happening in the background that you aren't aware of. Which I thought was interesting. So who knows if that percentage is accurate, because if you sleep better, it helps you have more energy so you can move more. So everything's interconnected. But if we had to separate it out, 20 to 30%
it's interesting.
is weight. That's not as much as everybody thinks.
Right.
And that's why I think, Rachel, and wouldn't you agree that's why it's so important to have to be coached and supported if somebody is going to take a GLP-1, because it's not just weight loss, right? It's not just weight loss. And
can I just speak to that really quick? Because that's what I love about our team at Oregon Weight and Wellness. You have your role as a doctor and I have my role as a coach, but we both speak the same language. So people are getting that coaching and helping support in their physician visits as well. They're not just getting the doctoring, right? And so we're both speaking the same language. These conversations, it's because we're aligned in this lifestyle change. And so a patient, when they're seeing you, when they're visiting with me, when they're meeting with Melissa, our yoga, they're getting those touch points all along. And I want to remind people, and here's the deep value that people don't realize, and they always realize it toward the end of their coaching or as they're entering maintenance. They look back at the journey and they realize, it was never the destination. It was the journey, because the change, the process is the journey. That is where the change happens. So Christian, when you're speaking about all these other changes that happen, it's also happening at a psychological level, at an emotional regulation level. We're talking about lifestyle things too, like relationships, and because you can't talk about health and well-being without talking about life. I'm a life coach also. And those changes, they change alongside you think that what you feel at stress at work doesn't connect with your sleep or with your eating. It's all connected. So the change that's happening is also at this bigger life quality level that people don't see until they go over here and go, oh my gosh, I'm a different person on the other side of this.
Yeah, that's so important, Rachel, because it's not just about taking a medicine and then I'm good. You know, I'm going to take this medicine. I'm going to lose weight. I'm good. There's so much more involved. And that's what you're talking to. We have to talk about, yes, your relationship, you know, what the environment looks like at work. What's the environment look like at home? How do you feel on a vacation? You know, so all these different environments and how we can set ourselves up for success in any and every environment. And that has to do with mindset. It has to do with paradigm shifts. It has to do with a bigger picture. Yeah, it's so much more than just, oh, there's my medication, I'm good. You know?
Right.
Well, and the scientific literature backs that up. You know, take these examples. We talked a little bit about bariatric surgery. We talked a little bit about GLP-1s. If that was the only thing we needed to, you know, conquer, you know, a lifestyle and lose a bunch of weight, then the results from the surgeries and the GLP-1s would be 100% improvement, but we don't see that. We see some improvement, and we see a lot of improvement sometimes, but we don't see 100% improvement. So it really, you cannot rely on these. There is no get healthy, lose weight quick schemes, right? Just like there's no get rich quick schemes. You gotta do it all, and they're helpful tools. They're helpful tools, but if they were end all be all, the data would show that they are 100% effective, and it doesn't show that.
Right. Great point. Yeah. Great point that this new amazing medication or group of medications is no different than many of the things we've all tried in the past, because it's got to be done alongside the lifestyle change, because there's otherwise we don't have long-term success.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we want. We want long-term success. We want to really stop this yo-yo kind of dieting. And we want to just, you know, you talk about this a lot. We want to identify as a person who knows how to take care of herself or himself. So we are human beings. As human beings, we have needs. Those needs include bringing nutrient-dense foods into our bodies on a regular basis. It includes moving our bodies on a regular basis. It includes sleeping. It includes connecting with other people in a healthy, respectful way. So, we're human beings with needs, and we got to figure out how to meet those needs.
Yeah. So it sounds so simple, doesn't it?
I really like the phrase. I heard it in another context, but I think it applies here. Give people back their freedom. And so here, what we want to do for all of you guys is we want to give you back your freedom. We want to make you free to make healthy choices, to do the things you want to do, to feel healthy. So we want to give you back your health, and we want to give you back the control of your health, because there's some things that aren't in your control, but a lot of things are in your control. That's what we want.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, where are we headed? I mean, we've talked a lot of good stuff here. Where are we headed? What's our next little bit about the GLP-1s? What were we going to talk about today?
Yeah, I think, well, we were going to talk more about eating on a GLP-1. And we, as per the usual, for those listening who are regular listeners, you know that sometimes we start here and we go like this because we kind of wing these conversations, because what comes up is the energy around the topic and what's needed. So, but we do want to address eating on a GLP-1. We want to address your brain on a GLP-1. Ooh, that's my favorite part. And we want to address sustainability on or off of a GLP-1. Why? Like each person's going to choose something different, but what's on the other side? And then I think one of our final topics will be rapid fire kind of Q&A, the questions we get asked the most, the questions that people are confused about, and then we can see if we can, clear up some of that confusion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do we want to spend a few minutes?
Do we have time? Yeah, maybe we could start. Yeah. And the major thought that I have is because the GLP-1 medications, just as a reminder, what they do, they slow gastric emptying. So they're keeping food in the stomach longer. And so people feel less hungry because it's an empty stomach that creates the ghrelin, which is the hormone that tells my brain eat something. So if I have food in my stomach longer, then I'm not going to make as much ghrelin, and I'm not going to have as much hunger. And then it also increases the feedback signal from the small intestine to the brain that says stop eating. So people on a GLP-1, they eat less food volume. Their portions are less. And the number one thing to think about that is that if I'm eating less food, it may be less energy coming in, but it might be also less nutrient density coming in. So if I'm eating less food, then I need to make sure my priority is going to be nutrient dense food. Yeah. What do we mean by nutrient dense food?
Yeah. Christian, I'm going to let you answer that.
Yeah.
You're on the spot.
So nutrients are the easiest. We're all about making things easier for people. Life is hard enough, so we want something easy. And a very quick, easy rule that you can, rule of thumb that you could live by is if it's natural, if it's whole, and it's, there's some other ones, but natural and whole are probably like the two biggest rules to follow. It's better to eat an apple than it is to drink apple juice. You didn't change anything, you just juiced it, and you took away some things, and so eating the apple, it's got the whole thing. So eating whole fruits, eating whole vegetables, eating less processed foods, because processing, that is literally the definition of a food. So maybe we should call processed foods denutrified foods.
Yeah.
Freeze-dried fruit, but instead of taking out the water, you take out the nutrients. So we don't want processed foods because those have taken out a bunch of nutrients along with the stuff that they're doing. So whole foods, natural foods, foods that grow on trees, foods that grow in the ground. And then with protein and meat, we want protein and meat that has eaten foods that grow in the ground, fruits that grow on trees, that has eaten whole natural foods.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think that's right. We want slow food rather than fast food. So I think we've said before, and maybe we can, maybe this is where we can finish this thought, but carry it into our next.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want, like Christian was saying, we want slow food. We want food that's seasonal as much as possible. We have so much seasonal. Right now, it's the best time to be eating tomatoes off the vine and zucchini and all your vegetables in your garden that you're growing. So seasonal, local because it's going to have more of that healthy bacteria for my gut, and it's going to be grown in the season of the sun that I am in, so which is great. And then it's organic, maybe, because in that I want it to be grown in nutrient-rich soil, so that because if the nutrients aren't in the soil, they can't get into the plant. And then I want to make it whole, because when we ultra process foods, like Christian said, we really take the nutrients out of them. We take fiber out. We take a lot of the nutrients out. So we want to eat slow food that is nutrient dense: vegetables, fruit, nuts, seeds, grass-fed, free-range, wild animal products, So fish and eggs and things like that. So yes, all those things are legumes, lentils, tofu, so all those nutrient dense foods, because I'm not going to be able to eat a lot of them. So, but my body needs them on a regular basis every day to run the cellular function. So I want to lose weight and get healthier. If that's my goal, I have to bring the building blocks for my cells in.
Yeah, it's so interesting because what we're saying is not new advice, right? This has been the healthy eating advice forever for a healthy, long-lived life. Why it becomes even more interesting is what you said, Dr. Gilbert, that if we're taking in less food, we can't really eat as much. If the food isn't fully nutritionally dense, we're becoming malnourished. And maybe that's where we can really pick up next week the risks and why this is so important. If we are eating in a lot of food and high portions of foods, there's a higher chance you're going to get the nutrients in from, the more you take in, the more likely, it might still be pretty nutrient deficient, but it's more likely you might be getting more. But if now all of a sudden you've shrunk way back and your portions are way smaller, if the choices are, a small little snack size bag of potato chips and that's all you could eat, it's a smaller portion, less food, but what was it? It was nothing. And I think we see that every day with the patients and the clients, right? The appetite is decreased, not as much of a desire to eat. And then, so what do the choices become? And this is where it becomes a little bit more complicated, but we can solve for that.
That's right. That's so, it's so important because I can eat, if I'm eating McDonald's and now all of a sudden I'm eating less McDonald's, I might lose some weight, but I'm not going to get healthier. Right. Yeah. And sorry, McDonald's, that I dissed you, but So yes. So, right. And some ultra processed food aren't just nothing. They're actually working against me.
Right.
So,
right. Great point.
Yeah. And so I want to do everything for my health, for my cellular health, nutrition. And so I want to make sure that I'm eating nutrient dense food. So the other thing is that it's going to create less side effects. And maybe this is where we can stop and pick up next time, because there are foods that people find out. I mean, they learn sometimes the hard way. Trial and learn. We like to say trial and learn.
That's right. Yes.
And they eat a certain food and like, oh, that didn't, I'm gonna do that again. But some people do that a couple of times until they like connect the dots. But but when you're gonna have a lot less side effect from eating real food than from eating the fried or the ultra processed food. So,
which is a wonderful benefit. If you listen to your body on a GLP-1, it's a nice little gift it's trying to give you. It really does sort of steer you away from some of these ultra processed foods in many ways.
Yeah. And then what we want to do is make that choice a time and time again, because that then creates new neuron pathways in our brain. And it helps kind of solidify old pathways. And so we want to reinforce these new pathways in our brain. So this becomes the rut. The healthy food choice becomes our new rut. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So good. Yes. We'll keep this conversation going. And in the meantime, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to eat my dinner for lunch. So I have the rest of my base salad in the refrigerator, and I had it with my lemon vinaigrette dressing, and then I'm gonna have I'm looking forward to this. I have some plain Greek yogurt that I'm just gonna put. I have some psyllium and flax, ground flax, and chia that I'm gonna throw in there with just a splash of lemon juice and a little bit of honey, just a little bit.
And that's like a dressing.
Yeah.
Yum. That sounds, you made my mouth water.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah. So what's for dinner for you, Rachel?
Also a big giant base salad. And I'm excited about how many things are in it. Like these fresh mushrooms I just got from Trader Joe's that are like snap fresh, they like pop when you break them in half or when you cut them. and arugula and beets and carrots and cabbage and dried edamame. And I've got some air fried tofu, and I'm so excited to eat it. I'm so hungry. It's time for lunch, y'all.
Yeah, let's skip lunch, go straight for dinner.
Right. How about you, Christian? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, no idea what it's going to be, but I just yesterday went grocery shopping, and picked up some sweet potatoes. And I'm a sucker for sweet potatoes. They're super tasty. I'm thinking, I had a dish last week, which was rice, some sweet potatoes, some beans, and some bell peppers chopped up. And you just kind of mix it together, and it was actually really tasty. So maybe that's what it'll be.
There you go.
Okay,
it doesn't have to be a recipe. You just toss things together.
You just
right?
throw it together.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Very good.
All right, friends.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Stay healthy.
Bye.